We're going to play a little game today, but if you haven't heard, you gotta know. On Twitter and in the news, this image was floating around of the Pope with his cool new puffy white coat. Did you hear about it? Now you might say, Ford, that is photoshopped. There's no way he was wearing that. The thing is, this is not Photoshop. This is generated by AI, artificial intelligence. It looks pretty realistic. It's pretty good, but you gotta know how to spot the fake. You gotta know. And there are some things that AI can't do very good. It's getting better at hands though, and it's getting trickier. But in this example, I'll just show you here on his hands. You can see that he's not quite holding this cup in the bottom left quite right. Like it's just kind of floating there. Subtle detail. If you go up here to his this cross here around his neck, you can see a chain on the left side, but not on the right side. So like, well, if this is real, maybe the chain's just covered up, but no, it doesn't really look like it. It looks like it's floating there. And then here on the top, you can see his glasses are kind of like blurred into his face. And there's like a weird shape of the shadow. I don't know, there's subtle things, but moral of the story is this AI is getting really good at tricking us. I don't know. Were you fooled by this? Did you think this was a real photo? Because I'm sure it tricked some people. I'm sure it fooled some people, right? I don't know. Anyway, so we got it. This is what let's play a game. I put my images into MidJourney. It has a functionality where you can give it your images and then you can have it make something similar. So I just described my image, gave it the image and said, now you try. So here we go. Can you spot the fake? Which one is my photograph and which one is AI generated, which means it is not a real thing. I would say you can kind of tell because my camera's quality has a certain look to it. So this might not be too hard of a game, but still put your guesses down below. Slide 1, which one's real, left or right? This one is the AI generated image. By itself, isolated like this, I could probably be fooled. Comparing them, knowing that one's real and one's fake, I think it might have been a little bit easier to tell, but I will say when I generated this image, the sun wasn't there. It was just bright. So I photoshopped the sun in there, kind of behind that sail, that round thing. I just increased the brightness in a circle shape. So, I had to do some tweaking, but like, that's a crazy good. That's pretty realistic. So if I saw it by itself, I could possibly be fooled. Let's try the next one. Beaches on the boats, or beach, boats on the beach. Number 2, left or right, which one's fake? See, if you're starting to pick up on the quality differences, you might have noticed already that the one on the right has got the pixelated, the blurriness. It's kind of an older camera, and that's my camera. The one on the left doesn't have that, but it has some weird things. The boats to me don't look real. I think this one was not a great imposter. So we caught it right. Okay, this one's interesting because it's a recognizable landmark. So if you know what these mountains look like or what this barn looks like, you'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's obviously the fake one is on the left. Just kidding, on the right. One thing to look for in landscape images, AI generated, is it feels like there's a lot of copy and paste. In these weeds, there's not a lot of variety. And sure, weeds look the same, but these look too much the same. Like it's just a pattern of... Interesting though, huh? Pretty good. Let's move on. Some of my astrophotography. Which one is the imposter? Now, if you know your constellations, you might know that does not exist anywhere in the night sky. I don't know. I don't see a constellation in there that I know of. If I saw this one by itself though, I would think that was probably real just at a glance. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Okay, number 5. This is Kolob Canyon. Which one is the fake, left or right? That's the fake. On the right. Again, you can see the plants. I don't know, this was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. No, that's it. Let's move on. Okay, rice terraces in China. Now, if you look closely, again, hopefully by now you're kind of getting a feel for what a fake AI generated image looks like. You can kind of tell the difference, right? So if we zoom up here on the imposter on the right, you can see at the bottom these rice, a lot of yellow splotches. Doesn't look too realistic. So look at the details. But yeah, that foreground is, I think, pretty much the most obvious thing in this one. Okay, moving along. I thought this was a cool image. I took this at the beach in California. This one on the left here. Just kidding. I took the one on the right. The one on the left is AI generated and really good. I would have to say this is probably my favorite one as far as realism goes so far. You could convince me probably that this was a real image, especially if you had not compared it to another one. What about you? Did I trick you? Probably not. You guys are smart. I know. You're thinkers. Okay, this one I would say is probably the worst one. It's pretty obvious that the one on the left is fake because this building is not even straight. Like, look at those waves in it. Now, I know modern architecture maybe could approximate something like that, but it doesn't look intentional. It looks like it just messed up making a building straight. That's my opinion. Okay, if you've been to the Summer Palace in China, you'll know that it's a cool place, a big place, fun to walk around, but that the one on the left or right, which one's fake? The one on the right is not what it looks like. It does look like a palace. It looks pretty good. But looking close at the details, like the shingles aren't straight. There's some wavy lines in there. The fence kind of looks a little messed up in some parts. The people aren't actually people. There's just shapes there. So, and then the trees. You can kind of see that they're fake so far in these. Except for actually the mountain in the background looks pretty good. Anyway, there you go. We're about done. So here we have Las Ruinas del Rey, I believe it was called, the King's Ruins in Cancun. This is another pretty good one. The grass on the... No, I would say the grass on the right looks like it could be fake, to be honest. So there goes my theory. Can you tell? How can you tell? Yeah, this one... Except for the clarity, right? There's no artifacts as if a camera would have. Like, it looks a little too clear. You can see some smudges, some spots, some grain, some noise in my photograph on the right there, whereas the left is a little too clear. But it's a good image. I like this one. There you go. That's the fake. Here we go. Elfref's Alley. Which one is the fake? Left or right? If you look close, you can see on the right here that the flag, or what was supposed to be a flag, is like non-existent. I don't know what happened there. Anything else that's obvious? Not really. This is a pretty good imposter. Oh, the sign. Always look for text. If it's a sign of, or if it's somewhere that might have words, that'll be a giveaway unless it's been modified in post. But you can see there's a plaque on the door and there's a sign, street sign, I think, on the right that's coming out of the tree. And there's not actually text there. It's just the form of text, but you can't read it. So that's a good way to spot a fake. It looks like there's supposed to be people there, but they're not people. I could be fooled by this one probably, but yep, that's the fake. All right, and here we go. West Quadi Lighthouse. I think this is a pretty good imposter as well. I really like this photograph. Mine's pretty good, the one on the left here. And theirs is, the AI generated image is also pretty good. Windows, sometimes it messes up though. If you look at the door, there's some weird looking windows panes in there. I mean, it could be an old building, right? But like, no, that's not how windows look, I feel like, on the door. I got the other windows pretty good though. Trees look pretty good. Grass looks decent. Looks a little fake. Overall, pretty good image. So how did you do? Could you spot the fake pretty easily? Or are you as I am, how good AI generated images are these days? So there you go. That was kind of a fun little game. Keep a sharp eye out. You spot those fake images. Have a good day. And as always, remember to smile.